They say in the race for artificial intelligence, data is the fuel. But what if the real advantage isn't data, it's silicon? While the world watches NVIDIA dominate headlines quietly, behind the scenes, Google has been playing a much longer game. A 10-year bet that's now turning into one of the most powerful strategic advantages in the AI arms race. And that secret weapon, it's not Gemini. It's not DeepMind. It's something smaller, and yet infinitely more powerful. Google's own custom-built AI chips, the Tensor Processing Units, or TPUs. For over a decade, Google has been pouring billions into developing its own silicon by specialized processors designed not for general computing, but for artificial intelligence itself. At first, many thought it was just an experiment, a side project next to NVIDIA's GPU empire. But now, that long-term investment is paying off, big time. In 2025, Google unveiled its most advanced chip yet, TPU V7 Ironwood, a processor designed from the ground up to power the world's heaviest AI workloads. Everything from massive model training to real-time chatbot inference. And here's the jaw-dropper. Ironwood is 4 times faster than its predecessor and powerful enough to run the next generation of AI models like Anthropic's Claude at an almost unimaginable scale. You see, Google's TPUs aren't like your standard chips. They're ASICs, application-specific integrated circuits, meaning they're built with one goal in mind: to process AI efficiently. Every transistor, every circuit, every line of code on these chips is tuned for speed, precision, and energy efficiency. And this isn't just about bragging rights. As every major tech company, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, races to build AI data centers, demand for compute power is exploding. But chips can only be manufactured so fast. So the real question becomes, who controls the supply? That's where Google's secret advantage lies. As one semiconductor analyst, Stacy Rasgon, put it, of the ASIC players, Google's the only one that's really deployed this stuff in huge volumes. While others are still building prototypes, Google's already running millions of these chips across its cloud. That's not a plan. That's infrastructure. Until recently, NVIDIA was the undisputed king of AI silicon. Everyone from OpenAI to Meta to Google itself bought GPUs by the truckload, but something has quietly shifted. Google isn't just a buyer anymore. It's now a rival manufacturer, and with TPU V7 Ironwood, it's sending a clear message to the industry. We don't just run AI, we build the engines that make it possible. AI startup Anthropic plans to use up to 1 million TPUs to power its Claude model, a staggering number that rivals even NVIDIA's largest GPU deployments. For context, that's enough computing power to run entire national-scale AI systems. But Google isn't selling these chips in stores. Instead, it's doing something smarter. It's selling access. Through Google Cloud, companies can now rent TPU power the same way they rent virtual servers. That means any startup, any enterprise, any AI researcher can tap directly into Google's custom-built infrastructure without ever touching the hardware. And the result? A massive boom in Google Cloud growth. In the last quarter alone, Alphabet reported 34% growth in its cloud division, beating every analyst estimate, driven largely by TPU demand. CEO Sundar Pichai said it clearly. Our AI infrastructure, TPU-based and GPU-based, is one of the key drivers of our growth, and we continue to see very strong demand. Analysts now estimate that if Google spun off its TPU and DeepMind units into a standalone business, it could be worth nearly $900 billion by itself. That's more than the entire market cap of Tesla. Meanwhile, the competition is scrambling. Amazon launched its first AI chips, Inferentia and Trainium. Microsoft followed with its Maya processors, but both are years behind Google in scale and deployment. As analyst Razgon notes, for other big players, it takes a long time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money. Google's the furthest along. And now Google's turning that lead into partnerships worth tens of billions of dollars, with AI giants like Anthropic, Meta, and even OpenAI, who recently announced plans to diversify onto Google Cloud. But here's where things get truly next level. In 2027, Google plans to launch Project Suncatcher, a network of solar-powered satellites, each carrying TPUs, orbiting Earth to harness solar energy and run AI computations in space. That's right, AI processing beyond the atmosphere. It's a bold vision, sustainable off-planet computation that could one day power the next generation of AI without draining the planet's energy grid. So while the world obsesses over NVIDIA's market cap and ChatGPT's next update, Google is quietly laying the hardware foundation for the next century of computation. Its chips are faster, more efficient, and tightly optimized for its own AI workloads, from Gemini to YouTube recommendations. In an industry where every millisecond and every watt matters, efficiency isn't just nice to have, it's survival. And Google, more than any other company, seems to understand that. Because in the AI race, the real winners won't just build smarter algorithms. They'll own the silicon those algorithms run on. Google's decade-long bet is finally paying off. And what once looked like a risky experiment now looks like the company's most powerful weapon in the age of artificial intelligence. The future of AI isn't just software, it's hardware. And Google just might be holding the blueprint